you have an old body style Chevrolet with an LS swap and you're trying to get your air conditioner to work, come on, I'm gonna show you how. First thing you're gonna wanna do is decide if you want to go with the sanding style compressors or keep the R4 compressor. Now, I kept the R4 compressor because it reduced cost and it increased simplicity. And so I went on the internet and I grabbed a generic bracket off eBay. You can get the Dirty Dingo, the ICT billet. You can get the name brand if you want. That was about 50 bucks. Then it'll tell you what tensioner to get. It's just, I think it's for a 4-liter Jeep. And it'll tell you what belt to get. But the belt I actually had to change, and we'll come back to that here in a second. Then you want to hop on Rock Auto and get you a compressor kit for a 94 C1500. And the reason 94 is a great year for these parts is because it had the TBI engine, which my truck originally came with, and they were at 134 at that time. They came from the factory with 134. So that combination works really well if you've got an 88 to 94 truck with a TBI motor, which this one did. You need to get a high pressure cutoff switch. Some people call this the air inlet valve switch. Some people call it the high pressure cutoff. Get the one with the new pigtail. That will go into the compressor. It does not have that. It has a plug there originally. Yes, you can run the air conditioner without it, but it really helps if you have that one in there with the performance of the air conditioner, because it opens the recir door. But anyway, so that's the skinny of it. That kit's going to come with a new condenser, and the condenser is important because they're different sizes compared to the R12. And you're going to get a compressor, obviously. Now, this GPD compressor, these guys have done a phenomenal job with these R4s. They've redesigned them from the ground up, and they're a lot more quiet and a lot more efficient than the old R4 compressors. They went from a piston to a scroll compressor. So visually on the outside, they look very similar, but the differences internally are night and day. You're also gonna get a suction hose, this hose, the one that goes to the compressor, for a 94 or 95 2500 with the diesel. And that will give you the correct bends to make your connections. Now, if you're just converting and you just need the hose, that's the one you're gonna get. If you're just swapping and you just need a hose to make it work, that's the one you're gonna want. For this truck, it's an 89. I got an 89 style compressor or receiver dryer. I've got an updated switch that works on the R134 pressures. Now that's important because R134 operates on a different pressure than R12. This is OEM. I flushed the evaporator, new orifice tube, pulled it down, I evacuated the system, put about a little over 2 cans in it, and now it's boiling ice cold. Something else that I forgot to mention is that if you have an older R12 system, you want to go down to the junkyard and grab you a compressor pigtail from any of the 134 vehicles. So it could be a TBI or a Vortec motor, because the connector here is a little bit different, and you're going to want to cut it somewhere back behind the resistor pack. I'm sorry, there's a diode in here. And what that diode does is once the computer cuts off the clutch, that diode will basically keep the coil. So you have a collapsing magnetic field. It can induce a current into the system. You don't want that, that's bad. So the diode keeps all that in check. Now let's go back to the belt. This newer style compressor has a slightly smaller OD of the pulley, so you have to get a different size belt than what the manufacturer, the bracket, suggests. And let me show you the belt. I had to do this by trial and error. So this is all that they had was the value craft, but it was made in Mexico. Duralast was made in India. So it's a 1030 K6. And just a quick pro tip on belts, how to read belts. If you look down here, I prefer this number right here. Well, actually, this is the length in inches, the 103 K6. K is let you know it's a ribbed belt, and 6 is ribbed belts. So if we read the other number, the 6PK, that's a 6 ribbed belt. K designating that ribbed serpentine belt. 2615, that is the length in millimeters. So if you convert that to inches, divide 2615 by 25.4, you're going to get 103. Can't even hear it running. I can't even hear the compressor.